Hey everyone. I just want to apologize for looking so horrible today. I didn't feel like getting dressed. um, and I also totally went basic white girl and got my pumpkin spice latte today. And this is the cutest cup I have ever seen from Starbucks. I'm trying to get this sleeve off so I can show you, but she handed me the cup and I was like, oh my gosh, it's not the typical like white Starbucks cup that I get. It has a cute owl on it. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? So yeah, it's delicious. I'm getting ready to go meet my mom and walk around the local park when she gets off of work. But yesterday was my last day at my OBGYN job, and the support from my coworkers was amazing. They gave me balloons, they gave me a going away card, and they brought in some cupcakes, and they were asking me about what I would be doing and all that good stuff. And I teared up in my car when I was about to leave because I did develop really good relationships with a lot of my coworkers. And for me, especially someone who suffers from like mass anxiety, I don't just come out of my shell. I know in a lot of my videos you guys like pick up on my personality and you can tell that I'm a really nice person and I'm outgoing, and I am a social butterfly once I become comfortable. So I was telling them, you know, I'm kind of nervous about starting my new job because I know that I'm going to be back in my shell until I feel people out and read them and see who I can joke around with, who I can talk to, who's serious, who's not, you know, stuff like that. So it was sad because I had to leave those relationships behind because, you know, everyone was telling me I was a good worker. It's a shame that they wouldn't have bumped my pay. And if they would have bumped my pay, I totally would have stayed. I loved my job. And it was so hard. And when I started tearing up, I really just felt so overwhelmed because I knew that I would be starting over at a new place with new people. And it took me, my year mark there was on September 14th. So it took me up until this point to work hard, learn the things in the OBGYN biz, and develop these friendships with my coworkers and really learn to love myself and be myself around other people, especially strangers and especially patients. And I don't know, I'm scared to start over. So I'm nervous, I'm scared, but I'm excited too because I probably won't have any more financial worry, which is good. So for me, it wasn't hard not getting a job in a nursing home because my school offers a career service advisor, and she set up mock interviews with doctors' offices, nursing homes, all kinds of facilities in my area for a whole day right after we pretty much finished our last class. Before graduation, we did the mock interviews where you dress professional, she helps you set up your resume, and she brings those companies in, and all day long you and your classmates go and pretty much interview. They offered a couple of people jobs right on the spot. For me, I added her on Facebook once I had graduated, and I was still working as a CNA once I had graduated. So when she posted the job listings for my OBGYN office that I worked for and a couple of other places, she just said, hey, if anyone's interested in a position at these places, let me know and I'll send your resume. So she sent my resume to the company I just left, and she ended up, like, she sent my resume, then my supervisor at the job I just left called, set up my interview and everything, and then of course I messaged my career service advisor and I was like, I have an interview, thank you so much. So I got this interview on my own, and I went in and I was basically honest with them and told them I have no vein puncture / phlebotomy experience since nursing school. Like, I haven't drawn any blood since nursing school, but they train you to do that. Basically, my essential function as the LPN there will be to screen people and make sure that they're proper candidates for plasma donation. But they do eventually teach me to do the vein puncture and draw the blood and do all that too, which is cool. It's another school skill set. But I was just honest during my interview, and when she asked about the pay, I was like, well, I'm making, 15 something now, so I would kind of like 16 or 17. And that's when she told me she would be paying $18.50 an hour, which was amazing to me because I'm tired of struggling, and I get off of my dad's insurance at the end of January because I'll be 26 and I'll have to buy my own insurance, and along with my car payment and everything else, you guys know my financial status, it would just be a lot, and I would be struggling making the money that I was making where I was. It really stinks that I had to leave a job that I loved because of the pay, but I'm still thankful for all of the experience that I got working there. I'm thankful for the bonding and the relationships that I created with my coworkers and my patients, and I'm thankful that I got to be a part of the birthing process and making sure that women are taking care of themselves throughout their pregnancy, throughout life. And we had 80, 90-year-olds coming in there for annuals, and as long as you have a vagina, you really need to go. And they would be like, I'm so tired of this. Do I have to keep coming? Yeah. If you still have a vagina, you still need to get checked out. There's vulvar cancer. You can have any kind of issue up in there. Even if you've had a total hysterectomy, anything can happen down there, and that's why your health is so important. I live in the 750 area. I just don't want to go LPN. Stuck in it. Yeah, so you definitely don't have to work in the nursing home as an LPN. When you start nursing school, you are going to realize that all of your clinicals are at the nursing home, at least with the school I went to and the program I went to, and that's primarily because nursing homes are going to be where the big money's at. You are going to get $20 to $25 an hour plus shift differential if you work 7 to 3, and then if they ask you to stay over 3 to 11 or 11 to 7, they're going to pay you like $3 to $5, $7 differences for staying over for those shifts. So you make good money and you get really good hands-on skills. The only reason I don't work in a nursing home / long-term care facility is because, this is going to sound crazy, but during nursing school, trachs and G-tubes just weren't for me. Like, they made me nervous, and anything can happen, and it's just so much to remember if something happens to that person that has a trach, or you have to remember to lower the bolus feeding when you're feeding a peg tube. Like, it's a lot to remember, and I didn't want to have a patient that had that I would be responsible for, because if something happened, God forbid, I would feel like crap. But I loved going to the LTC facilities when we were in nursing school, because our nursing instructors followed us around, or they would partner us up with people, and we would have one room, because they share rooms, the patients do, so there's always pretty much 2 people in one room, and your nursing mate was right there, so if you needed help changing someone or bathing them or dressing them, they were right there and they could help you. But I loved wound care, and you're going to get plenty of wound care skills in a nursing home, because a lot of them come from the hospital to get rehab, and sometimes, depending on the facility and how hard their workers work, they're going to have bed sores, they're going to have stage 2, stage 3, sometimes they're even going to have a wound vac, and I did my first 2 wound vac changes in a nursing home, and it was amazing. It was disgusting, but it was amazing at the same time. And the nurse that helped me change the dressing and put in all the new sponges and all the dressings for the wound vac told me, how big her sore was and how it's shriveled up, because the wound vac pretty much makes it heal from the inside out. So it was really cool. But you'll just get so much hands-on experience, and long-term care facility / nursing homes were awesome for me as well, because I love old people. I love geriatric patients. So, like, later on down the road, I kind of see myself going back into that type of field, because I would like to pass medication and make sure that, my oldies are taking care of themselves. And I love to give them little nicknames like Nana, Grandma, Grandpa, Grammy, Pappy, stuff like that. I love old people. But it would be really great to get a job in a long-term care facility and, you know, change the lives of people that have to live there. That's their home. And when you're a nurse, you're there because you care. And sometimes when you're at clinical, you're going to see nurses that are just there for a paycheck. They're going to have attitudes. They're not going to do their jobs properly. And you have to be the advocate for that patient and really take care of them. Sometimes if you ask the CNAs or nurses, hey, what is this patient like? Do they like to go to the dining room for breakfast? Do they eat breakfast in their room? Sometimes they won't even answer you. They'll just roll their eyes and walk away. And you just have to take it with a grain of salt and keep it moving and just take the reins into your own hands and really take control. And I have been known in clinical to get into it with CNAs because I was a CNA, and I would get ones on my evaluation for that day because I wasn't cooperative with the team. But that's because I truly cared about those people. And when a patient rolls up to me in a wheelchair complaining that they're wet because they've urinated on themselves and their CNA didn't change them, and when that CNA comes up to them and tells them, hey, I just changed you, why are you wet again? Well, obviously they have a loose bladder. Hello, like, go change them. And like one instance that happened, that was a real true story. And when I wheeled that patient to her room, she could pull herself up on the grab bar in the bathroom. And she would stand there for you. So I rolled her in there. She pulled herself up. I got a warm towel with soap, washed her peri area and behind all the way down her legs because she was soaking wet, dried her off, gave her a new brief, gave her new pants, gave her new socks, and, you know, tied her shoes for her. She was like, thank you so much. I wish you worked here. You're so nice about it. They get mad at me when I use the bathroom on myself. Okay, well, you're like 85 years old. What the hell do they expect? You know what I mean? So I feel like it's good when someone that started from the bottom works their way up to the top, because you know what CNAs go through, you have that skill set, and you know what is to be expected of a CNA. Yes, your job is going to be stressful. Registered nurses get stressed out. LPNs get stressed out. CNAs are going to be stressed out. But if you have a good healthcare team working with each other as one whole and get the job done, get people taken care of, you're not going to have these issues with people getting bed sores and rashes in their peri areas and on their sacrums because you let them go 3 hours in soiled pants rolling around the nursing home. Like, that lady pulled herself up on the bar and it amazed me. I was like, they act like you can't even move out of your own wheelchair. And she could transfer herself from the wheelchair to the bed and vice versa. Like, she was mobile. She was able to do some things for herself. She just needed that extra oomph, that extra help. And it really upset me when she wheeled up to me, so I got a 1 that day. And there were 1 or 2 other instances when my clinical instructors had to give me 1s because I got into it with healthcare people that were working at the facilities we were at. But it is what it is. It happens. So, yeah. I don't know how I got onto that rant, but nursing school is going to teach you a lot of skills that you need. I'm not in the medical field as of yet. I cannot wait for school. Are you going back for your RN? You are such an inspiration to me. Oh, well, thank you. I truly love nursing. Nursing school was amazing for me. I loved it. I loved being a CNA. As far as going back for my registered nurse degree, I've been looking into bridge programs around my area for LPN to BSN. The only problem is the program that I really want to go to requires a lot of math, and I'm horrible at math, and I would have to go to like my community college to save money and get all of my prereqs out of the way. Like my psychologies, which I've already done most of those on that list, but I gotta do like chemistry, statistics, my anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, and the problem, yeah, math is just, it's horrible. The problem is trying to find out how I can afford to pay my bills and go to school like I did before in LPN school. And that's why I'm thankful that I got my degree from my past relationship before he dumped me. Oh, well, thank you guys. I love that I inspire you guys. You know, it's hard. It's not, nursing school is not made to be easy. If everyone was meant to be a nurse, that would be the only profession out there. But if your heart is in it and you work really hard and you develop a good support system, especially like classmates that you become close with, and you all have the same goal of becoming a great nurse, graduating, getting in the field and working and changing lives and taking care of people and their health, you know, you can do it. You can do anything you want to do. I plan on working as an LPN for at least 4 or 5 years, hopefully, before I truly decide if I want to go back to school. I've also thought, like, long term, if I ever become like a wife, if I get married and have kids, I would really like to kind of do, if my husband would ever let me, if someone's crazy enough to marry me, if I could do like stay-at-home mom during the day, take care of the kids, get them off to school, whatever, and go to school at night, that would be great. My ultimate goal has always been to have my bachelor's in nursing, and it's so hard to figure out how you're going to go to school and how you're going to pay your bills, because school isn't free, living on your own isn't free, and being a young adult, like 90% of your life is struggle. It's not easy. And I'm so grateful that in my past relationship when I was going to LPN school, that my boyfriend at the time was nice enough to be like, you know what, you're so stressed out, just go to school full time during the day because we have no time together. And then when he deployed, you know, he was gone for 8 months. I was going to school for my last 8 months, and it worked out. He came home right in time to see me graduate, and it was amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I finally have like a degree under my belt. Like, I can start working as a nurse. And then when I passed my NCLEX the first time, that was a huge milestone, and it's like, oh my gosh. And my previous job that I just left, one of my coworkers just got her bachelor's in nursing. She passed the NCLEX on the first try, and it was so motivating to see her go through what she went through, because she was having issues all throughout school. She took a couple of breaks, but she still ended up doing it, and that was motivational for me. Like, I was like, you know, if she can do it, I can do it. Yeah, so if you, like, I did work during the day, and then I went to night school. And the good thing about like a fast track program like the LPN program I did, it really does work out. And the only reason I wanted to go into day school was because I would be in school 8 hours as opposed to 5 at night, because day school is like 8 to 4:30. Night school was 5:30 to 10:30, I think it was, or 5:30 to 10, something like that. And night school, you know, everybody's tired, so the teachers are tired because they were teaching all day, and you didn't learn as much, because when we would be going into class, the other students would be leaving, and I would hear them like talking about things they did in the lab and stuff, and I'm like, we haven't done that. Why haven't we messed with the mannequins? We haven't done this, we haven't done that, and they've done this. So I really wanted to switch to day school so I could have nights to study, do my projects, write my papers, and then all day to really get the hands-on experience in the classroom and in the lab, and then when we go to clinical, be prepared and be ready. I will say that being a CNA really helps when you want to go into the nursing field, because nursing fundamentals is like the first set of classes you're going to take, at least with my program it was, and I already knew how to do it all. I knew how to apply the compression stockings. I knew how to transfer from bed to wheelchair, vice versa. I knew how to do the bed bath. I knew how to dress the client. I knew how to sit them up and feed them and clean their nails, because that's what I did for 3 years as a CNA, and I was still doing it while I was going to school. So you kind of just have to find the balance that works for you. And like, it's very hard to pay your bills and go to school. Some people, I don't know how they get money for going to school. I never did. Like, I got my loans to go to school and like pay for my actual school, and that's it. I never got actual money to help pay my bills and live off of. So I don't know how people do that type of stuff, but it can be done because people were doing it. you could start a blog and just blog or vlog your nursing school experience and make money that way. And I didn't start my YouTube channel just like to get money. I wanted to share my experience, and I love going back. I watch my videos all the time of what I've been through throughout nursing school, and just to see that I could overcome that, I was just like, oh my god, like I survived. Like those memes that say, keep calm, I survived nursing school, or keep calm, you will survive nursing school, like you will. And it's an amazing feeling. When you're in school, you're going to feel like the whole world is just crashing around you, and it's crazy, and like, why did I do this to myself? But the end result, when you graduate and you're standing there in that all white with the cute little nurse's hat, and you get that pin and you pass NCLEX and you get your first nursing job, it's like, I did this. Like, it was me. Yes, I had a good support group, but I used my willpower and my mind power to complete this and do it. So if I wouldn't have been able to go to day school full time, if I wasn't with my boyfriend at the time, I probably would have still worked as a CNA during the day and then went to school at night and did clinicals every weekend for 12 hours. So you just have to do what works for you. And I believe I'm a very spiritual person, and I like to manifest in things that will come my way and really hope that things work out, and usually it does. Sometimes, like I said in my nursing school videos, you just have to take that leap of faith and quit your job and go to school and just hope everything works out. Or if you have money saved up, pay as much as you can throughout school and then worry about it when your money runs low. Like, dealing with my anxiety issues and everything I went through, I've always been a super worrywart and a stressor. And I've had to learn to take each day one day at a time. I used to stress about how I'm going to pay my bills next month when it's only the first of this month. How am I going to pay this bill when I know it's due in 2 weeks? Like, I used to be like that. And then I just had to get that under control and be like, you know what? Stressing doesn't pay my bills. It's giving me a headache, and it's going to make my hair fall out. I'll probably have a heart attack. So you really just have to have faith in yourself, have faith in whatever you believe in the universe, in God, whatever, and just really have faith and pray that it works out. Because 99% of the time it works out in your favor. If you're meant to do something, it's going to happen for you. Trust me. So I've really thought about, like, I know I'm going to be making more money at my new job, so I'm going to start putting money in my savings to pay off my community college in one go around. I owe them like $700, so my goal is to save up like that $700, send them the check, pay them off. And since I've been out, I was reading on their website, if you're out of there for like 3 years, you have to reapply and then take the placement test again. So I think I'm going to get back on the ball of that, start taking a couple evening classes, like my prerequisites that I need, and then just go from there once I get my prereqs done, because the program I'm looking at, they're already accepting people for 2019, so it's pretty far out. But most LPN to BSN programs require the same type of prerequisites, so I would probably just knock out my prerequisites anyways, and then once I found an LPN BSN bridge program that I could apply to and get into, I would just request my transcript and send it, and that way it's already done. I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I truly do recommend LPN school for anyone that wants a steady job, because you're going to be a nurse. Nurses are always needed, no matter where it is. And if you're tired of, working at McDonald's or working behind a desk or, doing the same thing every day, you need to become a nurse if that's what you want to do. If you're debating on becoming a nurse because you've always been interested, you could always start out as a CNA, even though they're at the bottom of the totem pole and you do all of the dirty work. Or you could go apply to nursing school, get into nursing school, and work as an LPN and just see if you like it. I love nursing, and a lot of people see that. So I don't know if I had to choose another career, I don't know what I would I don't know what I would do. Because I don't like anything else. I love taking care of people. I love learning about new procedures. I love getting my hands on needles and giving injections and doing wound care. Like, I love doing stuff like that. So I don't even know what I would do if I didn't have nursing as my trade, as my degree. Like, I don't know what I would do. If being a CNA paid more where I was at, I loved where I was at, I would have been a CNA forever. Because I love developing relationships with my patients. I don't ever want to be that nurse that walks into the room and the patient is like, oh, she's just here for a paycheck. She doesn't care about me. I want my patient to always feel like this nurse is my advocate. She cares for me. I can talk to her about anything and she'll try to get it taken care of, or she'll try and get my symptoms under control. And I can talk to her about anything and not worry about her judging me or telling other people. I love building a relationship with people. And that's what was so hard for me yesterday when I left my job, because I thought about all of my OB patients that were pregnant and they were due soon. And, you know, I would be asking them, do you have a name picked out? Oh, I love that name, you know, stuff like that. And now I don't even get to see the end result, the little baby nugget at their 6-week postpartum. But it was a good experience. I gained a total amount of just so many skills that nursing school wouldn't have even taught me. They didn't even mention some of the things I learned at my job that I just left. So I'm very thankful for that opportunity, and I always use jobs like that as an opportunity to learn new things and just take them with me when I go somewhere else. And it was a great run. That's what I kept telling everybody when I left yesterday. You know, it was a great run. I was there for a year. I learned so much in that year. I gained so many good friends in that year. And I just really hope that companies like that learn to appreciate employees like me who really care about their job and really love what they do, but they don't get paid enough for it. And that's kind of what sucks. Like, you have these football players and like all these Major League Baseball players and stuff making billions and millions of dollars to catch a ball or throw a ball, and life-saving medical professionals or firefighters or police officers that risk their lives every day make nothing compared to that. And I feel like that's kind of messed up. Like, yeah, you're cool, you're really good at a sport, but what is your actual job? Like, what is your actual skill besides football? You know what I mean? But for those of you that work from home or work during the day, or you're working and you're trying to decide how you're going to work and balance school, I would recommend checking out the nursing schools around you. Everywhere always has open houses. You can always talk to a career service advisor or like their guidance counselors in their departments that help get your financial aid set up. My school, because I told them I lived on my own and wouldn't be able to afford rent if I went to school full time or whatever, they had housing. I didn't even know that they offered housing, but they would pay for you to live in like these apartments with like a roommate. And I didn't know that. So I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, we own these apartments. And they like told me the location. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'll figure it out. I still want to live on my own. I don't like roommates. But I didn't even know they offered that. So I would recommend you check into the program that you're interested in, see what they require, see if, you know, you have to have a high school diploma, if they require any prerequisites before you start, because my LPN program included all the prereqs, like dosage calculation, anatomy, all that good stuff was included in my program, along with my textbooks and scrubs. So go to an open house, call up the guidance counselors that they have, set up a meeting with them if you have to, and go from there. See what they require, see what the program is all about, what they offer, like day, night, evening classes, what their clinical hours are like. I know when I went to night school, clinicals were every weekend for 12 hours on Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, no, that's not going to work out for me because I have to work. But then when my ex let me go to school full time during the day, it changed. And I had no school or clinical on weekends. I did class like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, had clinical Tuesday, Thursday, or whatever their scheduling added up to be. So I definitely recommend checking out your programs if you're interested. It's always going to work out for you in your favor, and you should never hold back on bettering yourself and going for your ultimate goal. And my ultimate goal eventually is to get my bachelor's, but for now, I'm just trying to work, pay off the bills that I put off, save a little bit of money, and just work as an LPN. Because LPNs, you can go anywhere you want to go. You can go to the doctor's office, hospitals sometimes will hire them, especially in my area. It's kind of hard, but you could definitely work in the nursing homes. That's where they want a lot of LPNs. You can do home health, you can do pediatrics, you can work at like children's hospitals. You can do anything as an LPN, and that's what's great. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm getting ready to finish my latte and get ready to go walk with my mom because I'm trying to get my diet under control. I've gained so much weight. But yeah. Oh, and I wanted to let you guys know, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I know a while ago I created an Instagram account, but I never get on it. You guys can follow me on my personal Instagram. It's just Amberlee, AMBURLEEE. That's it. And you can follow me there. I post a lot on Instagram, and I'm also on MyFitnessPal again to try and lose weight. You could add me there, Amberlee, capital AMBERLY 12. And yeah, because Facebook is just getting kind of old to me and I'm not on it as much. So I just do like YouTube and Instagram. But you guys can feel free to follow me there. I always post like motivational quotes and personal pictures and stuff like that. So yeah. Any other nursing questions, you guys can feel free to ask me, and I'll probably make another live video like Monday after I do training. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. It's Friday, so if you're working and you're off this weekend, just push through these last couple of hours of the workday. And I hope you guys have a fun and safe weekend. And I'm out.